What's up, PayProTec Nation? It is time for the high five, and we're just getting it all together. We've got kids that I've got a sick kid at home. We're making all the things work. I just picked up another kid, and we're running a little behind. But in fact, we're still trying to get Brian to connect. He's connected twice without video, and now he's trying again. But we'll just jump in here and let me put Danny. I haven't even had the time to put Danny is here. Mr. Danny Shard. Boom, there you are. Look at that. Just like he's always pointing. He's always
I had
pointing.
to do the
That's it. The David used that picture. All right. Brian just called in again. Brian, can you hear us? There's no video, Brian. All right. So Brian may or may not be joining us, but Danny, how's life in Colorado? Brian, can you hear us? He's in the over here in the
Brenda was helping him with his computer. I think he's trying to do it on the computer again, which might not be ideal.
Yep.
You can see me twice though.
Twice now. I put we'll get two of you. All right. That's probably a little too annoying for everyone. We'll just go blank for a second here. And all right, here he calls in again. He just texted. I keep accepting his call. Yes, we're on, Brian. All right. We're look at this tech support. We're always trying to make sure. Appreciate it, Brad Ganser. Thank you for saying you love the high five. Thank you for joining us. Okay, first of all, let's talk. We always start with a little bit banter. I've got, if I go full screen here, my ode to Michael Jordan behind me. I don't know if you can see all my collected Jordan covers. Those are all. If you get up close, that has my mom's name on it because they were shipped to. My mom set up my Sports Illustrated and so these are all the covers of Michael Jordan and Sports Illustrated I had as a kid. And a couple pictures back there. Isn't that kind of so? But and if Danny was in the office, he's at home. You could do the ode to the Broncos players. All right, Brian's trying again. So
I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm actually going to, which we have a desk in that part of our office. I think I'm gonna set it up to where I could do the high five with the Broncos.
Yep. Now. Guest has muted themselves. Danny, I'm not sure. All right, we're going live. We're having all kinds of fun tech support issues today. Danny just disappeared. And so let's do this. Here comes Danny back. This is technology at its best for the high five. Thank you. Doug, I do appreciate you. I've had this sweatshirt for a long time, and what a win streak we are having. So I'm very excited about that. Danny is back. Let me get him back on the screen. I think it'll pop. There's Danny. All right.
Linky called me and it knocked me out, I think.
Yeah, and he keeps texting me. Now he's calling me. All right. So, Danny, I'm going to go full screen on you, and you celebrate. Tell us the story of what happened on the airplane last week. That is kind of the premise of what we're talking about today.
Yeah. Okay. So I immediately called Nate after this experience because I wanted to share it with you guys, and I thought it's something that we could all relate to in our business and probably try to duplicate.
There we go. Up close. Sorry about that. Hold on. I keep it. All right, and I missed Brian's phone call. We're just going with this. All right. Yeah, you tell. All right, I'm gonna get you set up. There we go. Because you're tall. There we go. All right. Sheesh.
Hey, all right, that's better. High five. Here we go. All right. So I'm flying back from North. I went up to North all last week for meetings, and got to see a bunch of familiar faces and some new faces. Got to hear some new products and some cool things that are coming out. So a lot to look forward to. But as I'm returning home from that trip, I'm on the flight, and this has never happened to me before. The pilot comes out and he says, and I got upgraded. I got upgraded to first class, but this was only on the part from Denver to Vail. So the quick 20-minute jump, I got upgraded, which was nice. So I'm sitting in seat 1A, and the pilot comes out and starts like talking to everybody, not on the loudspeaker, like in person. And he's like, for everybody that is not familiar. This is a very quick flight. Should be very smooth. Um, we're gonna have the flight attendant stay seated because of how quick it is. And then he looks over at me and says, "Mr. Shard, I understand you had a poor experience recently. My goal is to turn that right around to remind you why you're a loyal customer to United." And I was like taken aback. I'm like, oh, and I still to this day don't know exactly which situation he's referring to. I do travel quite a bit, so it's always something, right? And I just it hasn't clicked with me what he could have been referring to. But then he gave me his business card, and he had written a note that said, "Mr. Shard, here's to smooth skies," and something like that. I'm not in the office because it's in my office, but I wanted to share it with you guys. But that experience for me as a customer
Can you hear
was
me?
amazing. We got Brian
Look
Linky.
at Brian Linky. There he is.
Okay.
Brian
Why
Linky.
didn't it work on the laptop?
I sometimes, unfortunately, my IT skills when I'm live on the internet from Indianapolis to Tampa are not very good, so I don't know.
I
But
told
Okay,
you a
so
long
Nate,
time ago to stick with the cell phone.
Nate, here's what I want. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to just tell me right now, just one sentence. It was your fault.
it's all my fault. Somehow I don't know how, but in the
Okay,
power of
listen.
the
Okay, I don't give a
technology.
shit about any of that. I don't care about any of that.
So, all right. So Brian's back on. First of all,
Uh,
Danny, when somebody's like calls you by name, obviously he's dressed up as a not dressed up, but he's a pilot. He's in his uniform. Brian just left. I don't know what he did. He's just gone. And it makes you feel special and it sets you apart. And I was thinking, man, it reminded me of a book I read like 2 years ago, and I'm going to bring that up where it's called Unreasonable Hospitality by Will Guidara. And I pulled a couple quotes from it, but here's one of my pulled. People will forget what you do, they'll forget what you said, but they'll never forget how you made them feel. And I was
yeah.
thinking of that, for like you. And when it comes to payments, I think a lot of times when we're selling, they'll forget the pricing you put in, they'll forget what hardware you told, but they're going to remember how you made them feel. And I think for most people that are selling payments, how they made them feel is their last thought. What do you think, Dan?
I'm telling you, all of the issues that I've had over the years traveling, the delays, some that seemed unreasonable. Um, you know, obviously, all of us who travel, you've had a poor experience somehow, right? What and usually it's nobody's fault. It's something breaks or whatever, but it's just never good. But they never really make you feel good about it either, right? It's almost like you're just forced to continue going because what other options do you have? And I've always felt that the airlines kind of take that approach, right? They kind of try, but not really at all. And this experience was incredibly unique for me, and maybe because I don't ever have that, right? And so I want you to think like how often any of you have experienced something like that, and I would be willing to bet, being the gambling man that I am, I would be willing to bet that it's pretty rare, right? That it has happened to you, if it's happened at all. Um, but gosh, it makes you feel good. And so that's literally I got off the plane, I got my bag, I got in the truck, and I called Nate.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, like this was really cool. Um, and so I thought that'd be something cool for you guys to hear, but also something to think about, keep in mind, right? With all of our customers, right? We have that power to really like stand out and make them feel just above anybody else, that they're not just another number, that they're really important to you. And it can be something as simple as a little bit of recognition, a note, right? A quick, stop in. Hey, just wanted to stop in and say hi, and just let you know I really appreciate working with you, and just wanted to leave you a little note. And here's a gift card or something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything big. I mean, it can be something as simple as that, but it's amazing, I think, how good it makes them feel. And when that competitor comes in, they're going to be like, I love my person. right? And that's the thing. Like after this experience with United, I mean, just that one pilot doing that, it added a lot of loyalty for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brad Ganser, Brian is there. Oh, we got a little bit of his nose there, but Brad
Can you
Ganser
see
said
me?
it's there. We hear you, Brian. We hear you. I see you. I hear you. And Brad Ganser said it's a great story, but United still sucks. Hey, everybody has their, everybody has their thing. Here's what we can say: we can all agree on that Spirit sucks because
Spirit
they're not
sucks.
at business anymore. And part of that is that they worked when you're working on nickel and diming and taking you don't provide that magic. Brian just disappeared again. Look at that. But I put this quote up a little earlier, but the other quote from Will Godara: we have an opportunity, and he says, a responsibility to make magic in a world that desperately needs more of it. And and it doesn't have to be fancy things. It can be simple. It can be simple, like Brian just showing up and showing us his office in multiple spaces. This is going to have the best bloopers that we've ever had of a high five.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Where's
All right,
mine?
but and I was thinking, what are the ways that some of you are in chat? What are some ways that you could provide those moments of magic, those moments of serendipity, those moments of surprise that give them a feeling instead of something that they're going to forget, and that sets you apart? Because no one, whether it's a handwritten note or a email or a text message or showing up, or especially for those of you when some of you find out that they're daughter is in the hospital and you send them flowers, or those little moments that set you apart from being a person that just put in a terminal and sold them a POS, and instead you're a person that cares for them and that they're more than a number. And what ways could you do that to provide that service? And those are the things that are going to set you apart in this industry. It's not the fact, hey, well, I'm going to be able to save you all the money. You're all starting at the same thing. I mean, Danny, we look at everybody else's programs. At the end of the day, we're all presenting a lot of the same hardware, in various different places. We all provide differential pricing and edge pricing, and that for the most part, we're all walking in saying we can save you money. We're all walking in saying we're going to help you with your business operations. And what's going to set you apart is who you are as a person and how you do that. And I think that some of those things are. And here's what I know. Brian Linke may be having technical issues, but he is the king of making people feel special.
He is the king of doing exactly what I just talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian, you'll have to tell him like some of your ways of sending cards, and I mean it's unique, but it's something I'll always remember.
Well, again, I think what's rule number 8, Dan? Like, be a normal person. Um, when you're selling is probably the last thing that really needs to play into this at all. I mean, if you go in and you're talking to people like they're like a real person, okay, and like you actually care about the things that are on their wall or on their desk, or and I mean, not just say something about it in passing, but say something about it like, where you actually care. And if you don't care about it, you're probably in the wrong business. Okay, selling is probably isn't for you, because selling payment processing. I mean, we can talk about deja vu terminals, and we're doing all these really cool things, and we're paying you, $700 and 16 times, and it's just an amazing thing. I mean, compared to the way it used to be, our back office portal. I mean, we've got all these crazy things, but in the end, okay, if you're not sincere when you're talking to people, and you don't, and you're acting like you don't really want to be there, you don't care. I don't care how much you know, it's not going to matter.
Yeah. All right. I think I have everybody in their own pictures. We're not all framed correctly, but we're all here. People are watching, and I do appreciate it. Brad jumps in there and says, imagine if you provided the level of service with a great product, you'd be unstoppable like PayProTec. We appreciate that. But we're only unstoppable when you're providing that level of service. We're going to hopefully we can do that for you as partners, but when you're doing that for your merchants, that's doing it. Keith over here says about thank you notes, like, those little moments. And
Yeah.
I used to be really good at this, and I've gotten lazy. And this is a good reminder that those little, we used to print notes and be able to send it when it's something we need to do to send to our partners. And just those little reminders of, hey, we're thinking of you. And Vicky Helm, who says also become a loyal customer of theirs and share their posts, just being a real person, as Brian said.
I think a lot of us have kind of become lazy in that aspect, right? It's we're all kind of going through the motions, and social media is out there and everything. I mean, it's taken away that human connection, and how something as simple as a handwritten note or stopping in and saying hi and checking in on just because it goes a long way. We don't even realize it anymore.
Well,
Brian sent me, I think it was for my birthday at one year. I can't remember. It might have just been just because Brian's done this over the years, and that's just the kind of guy he is. He puts on this facade, but he is really a softie and just a awesome friend. But he
thank you.
sent me, I think it was my birthday. It was a Hanukkah card, and it said Happy Hanukkah on it, and
I think he said
inside
happy bar mitzvah. I think he said happy bar mitzvah.
bar mitzvah. Okay, yeah. And then inside it said, um, "Sorry, this card costs $1. Happy birthday, love, Brian." And it was like so funny, and that's so him. And it's just something I'll never forget. But like that right there, of all the cards I've gotten over the years, that one is one I'll never forget, and I'll cherish, and I have it at my office. I mean, I keep it.
Okay,
And so it
and,
seems like
and those are the things,
go
Dan,
ahead.
that you can do with your merchants.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
And
You know,
Be funny, be genuine, but it's doing something like this, which takes literally 2 minutes out of your day, can go so long with enhancing your relationships. And yeah, I mean, it made me feel great hearing from the United pilot, even though as our my friend Brad Ganser says, United sucks. They all suck, but they can still, that situation is still a make you feel good type of situation.
yeah, you know
well,
why it makes you feel. You know why it makes you feel so good is because it's such a rare thing to happen
That's
today.
right. Yes, it's yes.
That's why it makes you feel so good, which in my opinion is extremely sad because the way convenience is an amazing tool. In today's day, everything is so convenient, right? I mean, it's sending a text, sending an email, doing this, okay, but like back in the day when you actually had to think about it and go to the store and buy a card and fill out the card, pay for the card, right? And look at the back of the card and say, how in the world is this thing $6.95? Right? Like how I'm paying $7 for this, but you did it anyway. Okay. Those are the things back then that made things special. And I think today we get caught up in the convenience of everything. And if we can figure out as salespeople how to mesh both of those things together, then Brad, then you're unstoppable.
and now let me throw up here because
That's
there's another reminder. Brian, do you remember this? Just showed up on my doorstep one day. I have it.
I
Usually it's in
can't
my
see it.
background. This way I'm facing a different direction in my office here. But Brian, I don't even remember what the discussion was. It was a high five discussion for sure. This is like back in COVID time. We were talking
It
about
was
Rolodexes and how he used to, and suddenly this just showed up. And it's been in my background. It's always within hand reach when I'm in my office here. Those little moments of just surprise and, cost you $12, and I hold on to it for life, Brian. Right? I don't know what it
okay.
cost you. Maybe it's a really expensive Rolodex.
Well, we were right. We were talking about contact management and getting a hold of people, and we just changed ours from one to the next. And obviously, change is always tough for everybody. But back in the day, when you used your Rolodex on your desk and you had everybody A to Z on the thing, and all you had to do was turn the wheel, okay, and then that person came up in the card, okay, it never broke, never went down, ever. And so I think we take those things for granted. With Dan, you and I've talked about the shoebox, right? I started out with a shoebox index cards, January to December, 1 through 31, right? You go see a guy, hey, good meeting, want to call back in 2 weeks, and you put it in the 2 week thing, and you move on. Again, didn't break, never broke,
Yep.
never
Never
went
broke.
down. Never went down. So and obviously in today's day, there's and now we're into this AI chat GBT ridiculousness of. I mean, it's amazing. It's Nate, we joked about it a few weeks ago. Like, who's the guy inside there answering all these questions? You know what I mean? Like who's the little man inside the thing? So you know what I mean? Like it talks to you. Like, would you like some recommendations on some restaurants? Okay, I didn't ask you for that.
Hey, at the end of the day, we're talking about being able, and I'm going to, another quote here, manage 95% of your business down to the penny. Be aggressive, be organized, take it, but spend the last 5% foolishly. And I like that concept. Hey, take some time and surprise people. Go after it. Make some big swings. Do something different. And that is going to be, so Brian always says, be a real person, be a normal person. But I also think you have to treat other people like people, not just a number, not just their business name, and make them feel the special, not feel special, be special. If you were trying to make sure they know they're special, they're going to feel special, and that's what they're going to remember. And spend 5% of your time just figuring out new and crazy ways to do that. I can't wait to hear what
So
people are
here's
going to
what
come
I
up
want to
with.
do, Nate. I don't know if you're going to say something like this, and sorry if you are, and I'm stealing your thunder,
Yep.
but it's because we think alike. I want to see some of this from you guys, like celebrating with your merchants, right, or something like that. Like take a selfie and be goofy, whatever, right? I mean, I want to see some of this stuff. It'd be really cool for us to be able to share like what our partners are doing out there in the field to provide these feel good type of experiences. And merchants want to feel it, right? They want to have somebody that's doing that. They don't even realize it, right? It's I think it's something that we're in a unique position that we can do it, and it's going to be amazing what it's going to do for your business. So
It
let's have
is.
some fun with it.
Yep. And yeah, send it to us, email it to us, text it to us, and we are here to, like, we want to celebrate with you and then share with come up with the unique ideas that others can do, and then do something. Let's top each other. Let's come up with really creative ways to make our merchants feel special, and they're going to stick with us longer. And that's what the beauty of the triple win is, right, Brian? When our partners win and our merchants win, PayProTec wins. We want to that's why we want to focus on you guys first, because if you're winning, we're winning. We're excited about that. Brian, as we close out, you've had all the tech, you fought through it, you've made it to the end. What are your closing thoughts of how we can show unreasonable, crazy hospitality in the merchant services POS game?
Great question, and here's the simple answer that I'm going to give. One of the things about the high five, being on a Friday, which I really like, and the reason that I like it is because in order to be successful, really in anything, you've got to have, number one, you have to have a plan, right? You got to have some type of routine. Right, whether it's waking up in the morning and going and work out, eating breakfast, doing all these different things. And I think having the high five on a Friday, gives people a chance to say, hey, you know what, these guys, maybe there's something to it. Right. Maybe these guys are pretty successful dudes. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe I should sit down this weekend and come up with some routine that I can get myself into every single day and do the same thing every single day. Come up with a plan every single, and tackle that next day. I mean, the greatest thing about sales, in my opinion, is that no 2 days are alike, right? You're not talking to the same people. You're not calling on the same people. You're not driving the same route. You're not sitting down at your desk like an accountant and doing, the same things every single day. I think that's the thing that I've always liked, is that my days are never the same. But I think being that we're on a Friday, it gives you the chance to take the weekend, kind of reflect back a little bit, and come up with some type of plan and routine to get yourself into to start really being successful moving forward.
Love it. Love it. Hey, that's I think it's a good way to end. What do you think, Danny?
I love it. I mean, Brian said it really well. I mean, now my brain's like going into, I want to like create a hashtags or something. I want to get like bracelets made, or Nate and Josh and our team. We have a lot of PPT stuff that we give out to partners on a regular basis. I want to have like hashtag Feel Good Friday, right? Like it become a thing, right? That on Fridays, PayProTec partners, we're out making people feel good or make someone's day today, right? Like, I mean, I think that's just as salespeople, I want like things like that should be our motto, right? So I'll close with that. Brian said it best, but I'll close with go make someone's day today.
Well,
That's
right. I
it.
mean, Fridays feel different for everybody, right? I mean, everybody, there's something about Fridays, right? That are just different, right? So take advantage of it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, take advantage of the fact that Friday afternoon is just different, and take advantage of it. Come up with a plan, come up with a routine, and let's start crushing it.
Yep. All right. I love the stuff's already coming in. We got chats coming in, people dropping off, Robert Sears dropping off donuts to their accounts from one account to another. Vicky Helm doing a new 7 Brew and dropping off $20 gift cards to 7 Brew. I have a 7 Brew just being built right next door, like a half mile from here. And
Let me tell you about
first, that
Bob
place is a
Sears.
sugar coma.
Bob Sears has been doing that for 20 plus years. I know that because I worked with him in a previous life as well. And Bob's one of the best. That's why he's still in the business and still still out there taking the punches and making it happen. So Bob, you're one to emulate.
Yep. And second AP CEO wants you to know, Brian, he's got a business card book, a baseball card holder of business cards. He's still living it old school, and because old school
Love it.
still works. Just do what works, do something, and
Yep.
like that. So
Mesh it together. Mesh the technology, with the old school, and you'll be surprised at how successful you become.
So on that, we're going to close this Feel Good Friday. I like that. It also
Yeah,
ties right into Pat McAfee's show. He always calls it Feel Good Friday too, which I'm a
he
big
does.
fan of. Yep, he calls it
Yeah, he
Feel Good
does.
Friday. So
He
Gosh.
you're
does.
not
Yeah, I
original,
thought I was
Danny,
being
but
unique.
but hey, why can't we do it? He can do it in the sports world. We're doing it in the business sales, and we're bringing the fun. And we're going to celebrate our merchants. We're going to do things special, and we're going to experience incredible hospitality. We're going to go out there and make a difference out there in people's lives, and we're going to make some money doing it. Why not? Let's do it. On
Love it.
behalf of Danny Shard and Brian Linke, I'm Nate Manahan. We'll see you next time on the High Five. Bye, everybody.
Go make someone.